Today, we'll be taking a look at your high limit as well as your inlet thermistor on this GE electric dryer. Be sure to visit ApplianceVideo.com, where you will find thousands of repair videos on the latest technology. And for a limited time, you can save big on an annual membership and take advantage of all of our premium benefits. ApplianceVideo.com. Do it right the first time. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage. You will need the following tools to complete this repair. We've accessed the rear of the unit, and to begin, we must first lift the console here. It's held on by 2 1/4-inch screws. And then, what I want you to do is kind of pop it back. So hit it a little bit on this edge, hit it a little bit on this edge, and then gently roll the console back. We have 2 Phillips screws that are holding on the top here. Take this one off. Take this one out. You're going to bring the console back up, kind of lock it in place here. Now, let's return to the front of the unit. Now that we're back at the front, let's go ahead and open the door here. And then we have 2 Phillips screws that are under the front lip that'll have to be taken out. Take this second one out and set it to the side. Next, we need to remove the front panel. In order to do so, you're going to lift up on the top panel and just push it back a little bit. And then underneath, we have 2 1/4-inch screws, one here and here, that have to be taken out. When removing the second one, just make sure you put your leg on the front so that it does not fall forward. Remove the screw. Then we're going to pull the front forward a little bit, disconnect the light Molex, drop it down. Inside we have 2 more Molexes. You have this one here that have to be pinched and disconnected. Move this plastic back and get on the underside and remove this other Molex. Pull that out, pull forward and lift up off the frame and set the front to the side. Now that we have the front removed, next thing we'll have to do is remove the drum belt so that we can remove the actual drum itself. So we'll reach in, grab your idler, pull it back, remove the belt from the motor pulley, and gently let your idler go forward. Start to pull forward on the belt. Drag it across your drum here. Pull it out and set it to the side. Then, when removing the drum, we're simply going to pull forward. Once we get a little forward, go ahead and flex the sides so we pull out of it. Lift up on the top, pull your drum out and set it to the side. Now that we have the drum removed, we have clear access to our high limit thermostat as well as our thermistor over here. Now the main reason why you need to access these components would be if the unit is not heating. And to start, what you want to test is to make sure this has continuity. If it does not have continuity, this set will need to be replaced. To replace it, each of these have a small 1/4-inch on here that we'll have to take off. Some of them are a little hard to get to. You'll have to use some type of ratchet to get in. I'll take that first screw out, slide off on your component here. We're going to use a tack puller to separate the connections. Set this one to the side. On the bottom of this one, we have another 1/4 inch screw. Let's take that out and follow the same process here. Slide out. Use something to remove the wiring. And set it to the side. When installing a new thermostat and thermistor, first we'll start with the thermostat portion and go ahead and plug in your wires here. That was the orange and the red. Then swing it in and bring the tooth underneath the lip at the top. Let's get one of the screws and put it in there, line it up by hand. And then we will use a ratchet to tighten it up. When reinstalling our thermistor, what you want to do is make sure the hole is pointing toward the top. Let's reinstall our terminals. Once we have these on there, bring the flat spot through the slotted area on the top and line up the hole. Just go ahead and start it by hand. Once we get the screw in there just a little bit, let's tighten it up with the ratchet. Now we can reinstall the drum. When reinstalling your drum assembly, we're going to put it so the bearing portion is towards the rear. Start to bring it in straight, and you may have to flex the walls in order to get it in. Let's bring it in, and then once we get toward the back, I want you to tilt it up a little bit so that the rear bearing can slide into the hole. Let's go ahead and start to put our drive belt around the drum. Lift it up and start to wiggle it to about the second rib on the drum. We'll bring our hands underneath. We will put the flat portion of the belt against the idler, pull down, and then wrap the rib portion around the motor pulley. Gently let your idler back. Now we can reinstall the front panel. When reinstalling your front panel, first we're going to bring it in and set the bottom front on the stakes of the frame. And then I want you to reach in and reconnect your Molexes inside the front. Put that one in, and of course reattach the shield. Slide that Molex back on, and then lift up on the drum and slide the front on. It should line up pretty well. Make sure you get a screw. Attach the first one. Let's go ahead and attach the second one here. We'll lift up and reconnect our light Molex. Push the front down in the back, slide forward, and drop it in place. Now we can reinstall the screws. Now, when reinstalling your bottom screws, you have to be very careful. I recommend starting it in and slowly trying to get to the exact spot that you need to get to where it starts to draw in the top. once we get one side lined up, let's start to do the same to the other side. Draw it down, draw it down. Now let's return to the back of the unit. Now that we're back at the rear of the unit, let's start by slapping the console back. Pull it off here and let it fall down. Then let's put our Phillips back in, start them by hand, and then use the drill. Let's look inside, put the other one in, tighten it up. Let's bring the console back up. And now when we're doing this, since this fell out, let's slide back in our wire holder. Bring the console up, reattach it and slide it forward. Let's reinstall the 2 rear 1/4 inch screws. And you want these to go in nice and smooth. If they start to cross thread, do not push it. And this will complete your repair. Thank you for watching another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure you click the like and subscribe to our channel.